Hey Suzie, it's your big brother Eric. I'm about to head off to Nevada for a missions trip with Brandon and Chris. I'm proud of you, I'm happy for you, and I love you. I hope you have a wonderful time on your bachelorette party, and I'll see you at work on Tuesday.
Hello ladies, I hope you all are having a very good time down in Miami. First of all, family ladies, Erin, Mom, Grandma over there, Liz, probably, I would assume sitting next to Erin over there. Hope you guys are having a blast. I love you all. Suzie's friends, Megan, Michelle, Ellie, Maya, Laura Say, Ashlyn, Brittany, hope you guys are having a blast. I heard Miami's beautiful this time of year. When I first met Brandon, I remember thinking this was gonna last long term. Really all he had to do as a boyfriend was not be the worst person ever. And he was going to be Suzie's best boyfriend. That's all he had to do. And he's really exceeded expectations. So I'm glad it's worked out long term. He's a great guy. And I'm happy he's gonna be a Shriver in about a month here. Suzie, you're my sister. And I just love you so much. I really do. I know this is a hilarious video that I've made for your friends, but I really truly love you as much as I love anyone. Out of all the people I've ever met, I'm glad that you're my sister. A lot of good people out there, but you're number one in this category. I hope you guys have a great time this weekend. I hope you and Brandon have a great life. I really can't wait until you guys are married, having kids, doing that kind of shit. So I love you. Have a great weekend. I don't know how to end this. I'm just gonna walk on.
Hello, everyone. This is a, when I say everyone, I assume the party in Florida or whatever is going to have access to this, and I hope nobody else does. I live in fear of going viral for so many reasons, and I think the best news here is that Marine Shriver, who I very affectionately for years have called, Captain No, she will ensure that whoever has access, to this link, that she puts them on lockdown, okay? But I just want to say thank you so much. I'm sure you ladies are having an unbelievable time. And I just wanted to say a few things. First off to, last, to Suzie, but certainly to everyone else. And I guess I would start with Ashlyn and Liz. You guys might feel a little bit out of place here because you're experienced married women that have, just all kinds of tenure and, experience as married people, and potentially this frivolity or whatever that goes on with a bachelorette party is just, what I mean, at this stage of your life, maybe it's a little bit beneath you. But I will say that both of you had unbelievable weddings that will be very difficult to live up to. And actually, we were, honored to be invited to yours. And I guess Liz, we sort of had to be invited to yours. But like I say, you both set the bar pretty darn high. So we'll hopefully see what we can do there. And Erin, I know that you must be living in fear, partially because you're marrying Chris, and that would include a lifetime, of direct access to to me and other Shrivers. But probably most of all because I'm going to be performing your ceremony. So I'll tell you what, I think I'm going to get all licensed up and maybe hear confessions that day and do a whole lot of other things. But in any event, glad you are there celebrating and sort of taking notes and getting ready for your own very special day. Megan, I think you're there. Are you there? I mean, as far as I know, you're not married yet. And I really think our relationship, Megan, it took a real positive leap forward at that impromptu meeting Sunday morning at the gas station, kind of by Chris and Suzie's house. It was just like we saw each other, we were surprised, we didn't know. And you really started to share with me and you started to open up, not too much. But the following football season, you were sitting in the first row there, and I was kind of in, just sort of 2 or 3 seats to the side. And you actually asked me a question, and I provided some, kind of old guy advice to you. You said, okay, let me get your opinion on this, Mr. Shriver. Should I go home tonight? Should I go home with, how did you put it, the fun guy or the practical guy? And what did I tell you? I said, hey, when you've had 12 drinks, I mean, what are you going to do with a practical guy, right? I mean, let's just save him for Monday or Tuesday. But in any event, very glad you were there. And that reminds me of Michelle. I'd have to say, well, Michelle, first off, you're, I think, responsible in some ways for this whole thing, right? I mean, weren't you the person that sort of, said something to Brandon about Suzie and Suzie about Brandon, and one thing led to another? I'm sure there's other stories that are involved there, but I know that you were right in the middle of all this. So if it doesn't turn out well, I'm confident that you'll receive some blame, which kind of goes with the territory. But in any event, you are also one of my favorite football ladies. And I would actually say, and I know, Maureen, this is why I said, let's just make sure this doesn't go viral. But I think probably if I had to say what was the funniest moment that I had the opportunity to experience at a football game with Suzie's friends, with that group of friends, it would be you. And you were in parenting mode, and you were very, very strong in it, very, very good in it. With one of your friends who'd had a little bit too much, too many adult beverages. Their name was Abby. I think that was it. And you walked out of the restroom, and I was kind of just sitting there, and you said to Abby, who was exercising her personality quite aggressively, you said something to the effect of, very objectively, very straightforward, you just said, Abby, put your titty in. And she did, and then I just remember that. I just went, that was some great coaching. That was some extremely good personal coaching. So you are obviously in the Hall of Fame for many reasons. I have to say, if I got to pick one person out of all of the football friends, I just really looked forward to football games with Ellie. Ellie, you sat in the front row. And we chatted quite a bit. Who would have thought when we started these chats that my oldest son would be marrying one of your very good friends from Mount Airy? And you remember what you said to me about Mount Airy. You were talking about some food fest or whatever the hell it was, and talking to me about some sort of special thing they only make in Mount Airy, and it's been carried down from Aunt Bee and Andy of Mayberry days. But you described it as being heaven in your mouth. And the minute you said it to me, you sort of looked at me like, yeah, God, maybe I shouldn't have told him that. And I've repeated that story on a number of occasions. And my wife, who you can turn and look at, who's probably red right now going, oh my God, I can't believe he's saying this on camera. She said, what are you saying? You can't do that. You can't say that. I said, what am I saying? I'm just saying what Ellie told me. I mean, maybe it was a lovely graham cracker. Maybe it was, something in the popcorn family. I mean, I forget exactly what we were talking about. So if minds wander, and that is not my problem. But yeah, Ellie, last time I saw you, you were talking about returning from Paris, and wow, didn't it just sound natural, coming out of your mouth? So good for you. Ellie somehow leads me to Brittany, and Brittany, my understanding is that you're now engaged, and congratulations. I believe this gentleman's name is John. I've met him. I loved him. Everybody's met him. Everybody's loved him. What's not to love about him? And it seems like he's sort of on the Brandon Bishop engagement plan, which is where you live almost a generation sort of with the girl that you're going to spend the rest of your life with, but you hang in there until you just, I don't know, all of a sudden it just happens. But congratulations to you. Of course, we remember, both of us, the first time we really met. I knew of you, of course, but it was prom night, and just like you were supposed to do, you dropped a bottle of alcohol in our house someplace and stepped on a glass and on the glass and like cut your foot, like to the point where I was imitating a paramedic physician. And Maureen would have been there, but she was outside wandering the neighborhood, making sure that no strange cars with strange boys that weren't invited to the party actually showed up. Little did she know that all of the ladies that were inside the house were actually texting the guys that with the gate code that were coming in and making her life hell. But that's what it's like if you're Marine and you're the teenage Gestapo. So Brittany, glad you are in this party. Okay, to put it that way. Would also talk, I think, at this juncture about Mrs. Shriver, because it's ironic, I think, if we think about Brittany and prom night and all those kinds of things. It's really kind of weird what a little kitten Mrs. Shriver used to be at your ages, like her, So we won't tell a lot of those stories, but I will say it's, from my standpoint, it has just been an absolute pleasure to see, and I sit with quiet joy on the couch, not saying anything, observing this, because that's what a man's role is late in the marriage. But just to watch the closeness that Maureen and Suzie have and the love they have for each other, not only as mother and daughter, but as friends. And I think that is a wonderful, wonderful thing. So Maureen, glad you're there, glad you're included. Why don't I just give you a pass tonight? If you see someone, just like a cabana boy or something that you want to go up and just, kind of go crazy with, go ahead. You know what I mean? I'll do what I do here, but just go ahead, have a night out. Speaking of cabana boys and, Maya, I hope that isn't a tough transition, but it is amazing to me, Maya, how honored we are to have you as the maid of honor. When you think about it, you and Suzie knew each other for, I don't know, a couple of years, maybe 2-3 years, if that, something like that, middle school cheerleading days. And the love that Suzie has had for you all of those years has just been crazy. Your picture has been up. You've been a constant source of, discussion and communication. So very glad to hear, how well your family's done and how well you've done. And like I say, look forward to you, and thank you for putting together this opportunity. Look forward to seeing you at the wedding, and thank you so much for putting this very special evening, together for all of these ladies, where you go out and have a very good time. I think if memory serves, if I missed anybody, I'm sure somebody's going to mention it to me, but I think now we're to Suzie. And I think that was all I was asked to do, by the way, was say something about Suzie, but I've sort of I don't download many videos, so I wanted to make the most of it. And, no guarantee this is going to make it to the airwaves either, because, I'm in charge. But, Suze, I don't know how to put into words, literally, how much I love you, think about you, am honored, privileged to have been your father all of these years. I think I went through down in Florida at your engagement party, just, all of the guys all these years, they came up to me and said, wow, you must be having some kind of problems. And no, not really. I've always been amazingly impressed by you. From the day when you were just such a little girl, you've been a leader. You've been somebody that had convictions, that kind of stood by them. You weren't going to get talked into too much, of anything you didn't want to do. And you've always had the intestinal fortitude to, apologize, admit you were wrong, all of those kinds of things. And I just think all of those kinds of qualities, it's just amazing that I had anything to do with it. And I'm so tremendously honored by that. I have a number of people asking me, like, boy, you're going to make it down the aisle? Do you think you're going to cry and, do this and do that? And I kind of look at them like, I don't even really know what you're talking about. Maybe, who knows? But, to me, some sort of outward display of, that sort of thing would be for everybody else, and it wouldn't be for you. And I just think what I'm going to do, walking you down the aisle, is enjoy it and smile and be ridiculously proud. And a little bit, I'll be crying on the inside, because let's face it, if you're getting married, it means I'm almost dead. So, let's keep that in mind. But I cannot imagine you marrying a better guy. There is nothing better than watching you over the years, just from like really early in the relationship, how you looked at Brandon, how Brandon looked at you. It's stuff you can't write down, you can't explain, but that is just what, true and honorable love is. And I'm very excited for you and your special day, as I know your mother and everybody else is. And I'm also very excited about the remainder of your life, because I think it's going to be every bit as awesome as, the first part of your life. So in any event, ladies, have fun, not too much fun. And thank you so much for being a part of our family. Love you all. Bye.
Hey Suze, it's your boys. We just wanted to send you a quick note, tell you how much we love you, wish you the greatest weekend. You're in the best place on earth, South Florida, surrounded by your favorite people. I have no doubts that it'll be an awesome weekend. There's so many things that I admire about you and love about you. One that stands out in particular is your loyalty and your intense passion for family. I cannot wait to build our own family around those things. I can't wait to marry you next month. I can't wait for you to be my wife. But I hope you let loose this weekend. I hope you have the most fun. We miss you, we love you. We can't wait to see you.